Hello everyone, welcome back to another video today, and this video is on the prediction for the game week 3 of the Premier League. So I'm going to do this series where I'm going to predict all the matches in particular game weeks, and this will continue till the last game week of the Premier League, which is 38 game week. So I hope you like this series, and please, on the last request, if you're liking the video of the channel, then please click on the like button, please subscribe, and if you're not liking, then please help me in getting feedback so I can improve upon. So starting with the prediction thing, the first match that's going to take place is early Saturday kickoff between Manchester City and Arsenal. Arsenal come into this on the back of two defeats at the hands of Brentford and Chelsea, and it's not looking good for Arsenal. On the injury front, they already have Ben White out, Lacazette is doubtful, Martinelli is doubtful, Tierney might not be available for this game, Gabriel is out, Aubameyang most probably has returned, so that's good to see. So Arsenal are struggling in that regard, whereas City, they might be missing Foden, but they have such a good squad, they have such a good team, and they started the season on a surprising loss to Tottenham away, but they bounced back in style, beating Norwich 5-0. With the quality of players, they've got Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, Ferran Torres, Sterling. It's going to be too much for Arsenal. And especially when they lose the first two games of the season before international break, and the third match is against Manchester City, you don't want to be going on 3 losses in a row, but sadly, it's just a humongous task. So on the prediction front, I do not think in any way that Arsenal are going to get battered in this game. Arsenal will give a good show and Arteta will revert back to a back 3. But sadly, it just won't be enough. The quality will prevail and I think City will win this match 2-0. Moving on to the next game, and the next game is between Newcastle and Southampton. Both teams expected to be in the relegation fight this season. Newcastle on one hand have not done any much work other than signing Willock, and they started the season with a 2-4 loss to West Ham, where they just collapsed after leading. Whereas they lost the second game to Villa 2-0 away. Whereas Southampton started the season with a loss, and with already losing Westergaard, losing Ings, the atmosphere wasn't good around Southampton. Many have already expected him to be down. But they put a very morale boosting display against United, where they got a 1-1 draw at their home against Manchester United. And most probably, if for some finishing boots on Adam Armstrong, they most probably would have won that game. So it's good signs for them. And Livramento, very young player signed from Chelsea, is looking very, very good. So they will look to use this fixture to get 3 points, while Newcastle will look to do the same. So if you just look at the past history between these teams, Southampton only won 1 match versus Newcastle in the last 8 games, which came at their home stadium last season. Last win for them at St. James Park extends back to 2015 when they won 1-2. So that's not a good reading if you're a Southampton fan. But for me, this fixture is going to be high scoring, and I think it's going to be 2-2 draw. I think it's very difficult to separate between the sides, and I think draw will be the most potential outcome. I think it's going to be goal scoring, with both defenses not being that good. So moving on to the third match that's going to take place this game week, and the third match is between Brighton and Everton. Now this is a very exciting fixture. Everton has started the season well with 4 points. Everton won the first game against Southampton, and they drew the second game away to Leeds with a 2-2 draw. Whereas Brighton started their season in a victory against Burnley, and they won the next match against Redford as well. So that's good signs for both the teams. For Brighton, if you look at some injury doubts for Brighton, then Brighton, Moppe might be a doubt because of the shoulder injury he had, but he just might return. Danny Welbeck and Lamptey remain long-term absentee, especially Danny Welbeck, who might be out for a long time. So that's the injury front for Brighton, whereas Everton, James, and I think most probably to remain out. Gamamin and Moise Keane have returned, but most probably no one is going to start in this match. So looking at the past fixtures between them, since promotion of Brighton in the Premier League, they faced Everton 8 times, where Everton have won 4. There have been 2 draws and 2 wins for Brighton, but it's not a good reading for Everton fans when it comes to traveling to MX Stadium, where Brighton have a very strong hold over Everton, where they've won 2 and drawn 2. So they don't lose to Everton in that stadium. And can Everton change that? No. I think Brighton will be too good at home. They won't be easy side to break down. And I think they most probably will get the job done over Everton, who at away grounds are not the same team there at home. And I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Brighton in this match. Moving on to the third match that's going to take place this game week, and that's between West Ham and Crystal Palace. West Ham come into this on the back of 2 victories. The first match was a very good start for them against Newcastle, 2-4 victory, and then they bounced back with another goal thriller where they battered Leicester City 4-1. Crystal Palace on the other hand were battered in the first game by Chelsea. They did try to bounce back, and they got a little draw against Brentford, where clean sheet is a good sign for Patrick Vieira's side. So looking at this fixture, the injury news for Crystal Palace is everybody is fit, by a long-term injury to Eze and Elise, who will likely return after the international break. Whereas for West Ham, at the moment, doesn't look like there's any injury problem. So at the moment, if you're going to predict this fixture, I think most probably West Ham have a very strong hold, and with the form they're coming in and with the goals they've got in the team, Antonio, Benrahma, Bowen, the qualities they've got, is most probably going to be West Ham victory. But I do believe because of the leaky defense, Crystal Palace will get one back. For me, it's going to end in West Ham 3, Crystal Palace 1. The next match is between Norwich and Leicester City. Now, this match is a bit more tasty than people think, because Norwich City had a big hand for Leicester City missing a big opportunity in 2019-2020 season. So first of all, discussing about the teams, Norwich have not started the season well as sadly we expected. When you're going to be given Liverpool and City, it's already going to be difficult. So they have 2 losses in a row, bottom of the league. Whereas Leicester, on the other hand, they started with a victory against Wolves, but they were absolutely battered against West Ham. Also to do with the red card as well. So they are not coming into this on a good way after getting battered against West Ham. So this match will be important for them to continue that pace to remain near the top 4 or top 6. So it's a very enticing match. If you look at the past some matches they've taken, the last 2 matches especially cost Leicester the top 4 place in the 2019-2020 season. Leicester missed that top 4 spot by 4 points, being behind against Chelsea and United. And they only took 1 point against Norwich in the 2 games that season, which most probably cost them the top 4. So Norwich that time troubled them. Leicester were not able to break them down and they struggled. So will this time that happen? No. Leicester have just too much quality for them. Leicester's attacking thing will prevail, and Norwich defensively again are so open. I think it's most probably going to end in Norwich 0, Leicester 2. It's more battering, but I think Leicester will have just too much for them and they'll bounce back after the West Ham loss. So moving on to the next match. And the next match is between Aston Villa and Brentford, and this is one very tasty fixture. Brentford come into this on the back of very good victory against Arsenal and another clean sheet with Crystal Palace away. Whereas, on the other hand, you can see Aston Villa, they started the season very poorly against Redford where they lost 3-2, but they bounced back very well against a victory against Newcastle. Now, many say it wasn't pretty, but they got the job done as they wanted. And with the signings, they have got players like Ings, so it's very good reading. Now, if we go to the injury front of the 2 sides, Aston Villa might have Trezeguet and Traore might be out for this match. Watkins and Bailey are out. They might be fit. Watkins, because of the way Ings is playing, he might be slowly brought in, whereas Bailly might return for this match. On the other hand, for Brentford, Josh De Silva remains a locked-up absentee, while Matthew Jensen, another important player for them, will return versus Villa. So that was on the injury front. Now going on to the prediction, and this is one tough picture to predict. I won't be surprised if it ends in a draw, but I think Aston Villa will just edge it. I think Brentford will get a goal in this match, but I think Aston Villa will just found the Premier League experience and nick it 2-1. So moving on to the finale of Saturday, the most important clash this week between 2 super giants, Liverpool and Chelsea. Liverpool have started the season as we expected. Silent warriors. They got a victory against Burnley. They got a victory against Norwich. Silently getting the job done. Silently showing that yes, if we remain injury free, we're a big threat to Man City's title. And they are continuing that. Whereas Chelsea on the other hand have again started very well as expected. They won the first game against Palace, and in the second game when they had Lukaku back, a player that they've been missing, a final jigsaw in the puzzle of the Chelsea team, a striker that can score goals, they look very threatening against Arsenal. And the sad thing is, for the rivals and everything, Chelsea were not even in their 3rd or 4th gear. They have been very ordinary in terms of proper energy level. And it's not been even proper preseason for all of these players because of Euros, and they look so good. So this is a very tasty fixture, and predicting that is very difficult. Just before predicting, let's look at a bit of history between the sides when they collided at Anfield. And if you see, last season Chelsea broke a very barren record at Anfield. Last season Mount Winner broke Chelsea's 6-year winless run at Anfield, and most probably putting their bad Anfield record of Chelsea away. A clash of title challengers is a very important match. So what's going to be the prediction? For me, I think I'm going with a very boring 0-0 draw. I think both sides are going to cancel each other out. I don't think Chelsea will be open as they've always been. Thomas Tuchel's side is defensively astute. Liverpool will not want to do the mistakes they did last time when Timo Werner literally caused havoc in the defense on the high press. And I think therefore Liverpool will try to be a bit more conservative, and I think both sides will be very satisfied with a 0-0 draw. So this was a prediction of the Saturday's fixture. Now we move on to the Sunday's fixture, and the first Sunday fixture is between Burnley and Leeds. Now if we go towards this fixture last year really worked in the favour that I never thought. I always thought that Burnley is going to be the hard place for Leeds to travel and they might not be able to play their football. But Leeds turned everyone last year. They went to Burnley and they won both their games. It's a proper defense versus attack match, and last year they won at Turf Moor 0-4. Which is a big surprise. They won 0-4 at Turf Moor. So they did a double over Burnley last year, but this season Leeds have not started a bit well. They got a draw against Everton 2-2 and they were beaten by United 5-1. While Burnley on the other hand against Brighton, they most probably should have won the match, but they threw it away. And then against Liverpool, you cannot blame them for losing that match. It was always going to be difficult. So it's another very enticing match, and I think because of the way the sides have started, and Burnley will not want to go 3-match winless. Burnley will try to come as hard as possible, and Leeds on the other hand will try to do everything possible they can to correct it. I think this is most probably written for a 1-1 draw in my opinion, and it's going to end Burnley 1, Leeds 1 in my opinion. Now moving to the second match of Sunday, and it's going to be between Tottenham versus Redford. So moving on to this, and if you see the history of this fixture, this is one opponent that Tottenham always love to play. Redford have only won one match versus Tottenham in the Premier League history, which was 2-1 victory in September 2018 when Pochettino was the manager, and the season when Tottenham reached the Champions League final. The last two matches, though, between the sides have ended in 2 draws, so that's a good sign for Redford. Overall, Redford started the season with a victory, but they lost to Brighton in the next match. And whereas on the other hand, Tottenham have started the season again very silently and done a good job. They won the first match against the champions, and they got the job done against Wolves, and to be honest, they could have even scored more. So for me, I think that's going to continue, but I don't think the clean sheet thing is going to continue. I think Sarr and they're going to trouble Tottenham defense, where Romero at the moment has just come in, so it's going to take time for him, and they still give you chances, Tottenham. I think it's Redford are going to get that goal, but Tottenham will have just too much quality in Son, Bergwijn, Lucas to get 2 back and get the 3 points in this match. Moving on to the last match of this game week, and that's between Wolves and Manchester United. And this is another very exciting fixture in terms of what's going to happen. Wolves are not the Wolves they remain to be. They aren't inside the top 6 used to be afraid of. Sadly, at the moment last year, it's good to see that now he's fully fit. Jimenez, he got a very bad injury last year and they struggled. Losing Nuno might not be that good for them as well. And overall, the recruitment has not been as strong as you expect from Wolves. And therefore, Wolves have declined. They started the season with a loss to Leicester, lost to Tottenham, and all. If you get Leicester, Tottenham, United in the first 3 games, you have to feel for the team. While United started the season with a 5-1 victory, but then a bit more demoralizing draw was against Southampton. Overall, it's just second game of the season, so you cannot draw any conclusions. Sancho, Varane, they're probably going to start after the international break. But yes, United will have to get the 3 points so that they don't get much behind in the race. So looking at the bit of history between them, since promotion in 2018, Wolves have only beaten United once in Premier League, with 4 draws and 3 wins to United. And I think it's going to be the same. And I don't think the scoreline is going to be pretty for Wolves. They lost the first 2 games, 1-0 against Leicester, 1-0 against Tottenham. I don't think it will be that pretty. I think you're going to see a very strong reaction from Manchester United after the draw to Southampton, where they will send a statement to the whole Premier League. I think I'm going with Wolves 0, Manchester United 3. So this was the prediction preview for me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like it. Please, I wish you put a prediction in the comment section so I can discuss, I can interact. And if you find any prediction wrong, anything I did wrong, any feedback, please provide me in the comment section. Please help me improve. I hope you all have a very, very good day. And thank you all for watching.